The clock starts right now on 60 minutes of the most unbelievable stories you'll ever see anywhere. And that's because you're watching Ripley's. Let's start out with Kelly Packard.
Dean, I am here at A.J. Hackett Bungee on the Las Vegas Strip. And what you are about to witness is truly unbelievable. Kelly Akers is going to bungee jump while Stephen Miller holds the cord with his bare hands. Now, this event is so dangerous that we had to close this area off to the public. And we actually have cameras set up to catch every angle. Now, you guys have to be nervous about this, are you?
A little bit, yes.
Kelly, you've got to be a little bit nervous. You're putting your life in this man's hands.
I'm more nervous about the wind.
About the wind. Okay, well, I won't even bungee jump, let alone when I do it, letting someone hold the rope. There's a lot of risk involved here. Can you explain a little bit about what's going to happen?
Well, she'll jump, and, combining her body weight with the weight of the cord and the G-forces that it, creates, it's going to create quite an incredible pull that I've got to hold with my bare hands.
Exactly. What did you have to do to prepare for this?
I just train pretty intensely all the time anyway, but God has really blessed me with a real unique gift of strength in my arms and my hands, so I'm going to use that tonight.
All right. Well, being a strong man, this is not the only thing that Stephen can do. Let's take a look. Growing up, Stephen's first love was martial arts. And throughout his life, his need to be the best has driven him to succeed at whatever he tries.
I have a motto that I live by, which says, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. Do it big, do it first class, or don't even get out of bed.
Today, at the age of 37, Stephen is a 4th-degree black belt in Taekwondo and a master in physical strength training. He lives to push the limits of human endurance. Traveling the world giving demonstrations of strength, he's crushed heavy-duty bolts with his hands, torn apart entire decks of playing cards, and he even holds a world record for blowing up, then bursting hot water bottles. But nothing he's tried before comes close to the feat he's attempting for this Ripley's challenge.
Failure is always a distant possibility, but part of that indomitable spirit is you just refuse to accept it. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to fail at this.
Well, don't go anywhere. We are just minutes away from the most unbelievable act ever done on the Vegas Strip.
Tonight on Ripley's. We were there when this paralyzed man made history, taking the world's first bionic steps with a computer controlling his every move. Now, in this exclusive, unbelievable update, this incredible mechanical man will attempt to walk unplugged. A bone-chilling ritual takes the Ripley's World Tour to a secret village of celibate men. Men who believe they can steal your soul by drinking straight from your skull. Beautiful Michelle Jessup used to be an ordinary kid until the day a chemical spill turned her tears into acidic drops that burn and bruise her face. Ripley's investigates the mystery behind her weeping wounds. Plus, meet the guy whose garden gnome obsession has gone to his head. We hang with the rabbit who chills in his very own bunny bath in tonight's Unbelievable Animals. And Ripley's reveals how to get a seductive sun-kissed tan in 6 seconds flat.
No streaks, no lines, everything is just perfect.
Only on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Now let's go back out to Las Vegas, where Kelly Packard is about to witness a handheld bungee jump. Kelly?
All right, guys, we're in the elevator, getting ready to go up to the top. This goes 171 feet up. Now, first question, obvious question, are you afraid of heights?
I'm a little bit nervous about heights, but hey, that's why we're on Ripley's.
Whoa, I can hear the wind in here. Now, is this a big factor?
Well, it is a big factor. I mean, obviously, we're standing here and the wind's rocking the elevator, so once we get outside the elevator, we're really going to notice the wind. Once we get out there, we're going to do a test jump with a dead weight, and see how that goes. And then depending on our window of opportunity, hopefully we'll be able to do the jump with Kelly.
Kelly, are you nervous?
It just now hit me.
It did, because we're so high up here. We're 171 feet up here. All right, are you guys ready to do this?
Not as ready as we'll ever be. Let's go.
Okay, all right, let's go. Woo! Don't look down. Don't look down. Oh, I just looked down. Are you sure we can do this?
We can do the test weight.
Yeah, we're gonna do the test weight first, right? Okay, I'm strapped in.
You're strapped in?
I'm safe.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna do a test, right, Steven?
Right.
Okay, from what I understand, Kelly weighs about 120 pounds, and we're gonna put some weights on the rope, but with the force of gravity factored in, that's over 400 pounds you have to keep from slamming into the ground. Steven, are you still feeling confident?
Well, I'm confident about the feat itself, but the wind is a little shaky.
Are you sure you want to try it?
Let's go.
Okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Steven, what happened?
Gust of wind kind of hit me. A little worried about that.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit worried. That was very scary. That could have been Kelly.
Still ahead. The test failed. But that's not stopping Steve and Kelly from attempting the world's first handheld bungee jump.
Time has come. You're getting all harnessed up, Kelly. How you feeling?
I'm feeling it now.
You are?
Can Steve keep Kelly from plummeting to earth?
On one.
Don't miss her incredible leap of faith. Still ahead on Ripley's.
In the past, Ripley's brought you the story of Marc Merger. He's the first paraplegic to walk when wired to a computer. The computer chip that's now surgically implanted in his belly gives him the mobility to stand up and step out the door, unplugged and unrestrained. And tonight's unbelievable update.
Ripley's viewers are sure to remember Marc Merger, a man confined to a wheelchair, until doctors in a revolutionary medical breakthrough hooked him up to a powerful computer that allowed him to walk for the first time in 10 years. Now, in this unbelievable update, this real-life cyborg of a man is taking this futuristic technology to the next level. No longer tied down to a bulky hard drive, a laptop version of this marvelous new machine promises Marc even greater mobility, even the potential to leave his house on his own 2 feet.
Et je remercie ma bonne étoile de m'y aider.
Marc emerged from a devastating car accident in 1990 with a severed spinal cord. Tragically, his ability to control or even feel his legs was completely gone. Marc's active lifestyle had come to an abrupt halt. Still, this brave teacher eventually got back to work, married, and even raised a family. Then came the day Marc heard about Professor Pierre Robichon, a pioneer whose team of spinal cord specialists had devised a complex fusion of man and machine that might allow Marc to walk unassisted. Marc instantly volunteered to be the first person to undergo the procedure. During a grueling 14-hour operation, a microchip with over 50,000 transistors was implanted in his abdomen. Dozens of electrodes were wired directly into the muscles and nerves in Marc's legs. Then, complicated computer programs were loaded in. These controlled the electronic signals sent to the implant, which in turn successfully drove Marc's legs to move. Amazingly, a man once considered a complete paraplegic was standing on his own 2 feet. And though shaky, his small steps were historic, qualifying him as the world's first truly bionic man. But today, with new technologies and components constantly shrinking in size, Professor Robichon is announcing yet another potential breakthrough. Instead of using technicians and bulky computers, the professor will attempt to make Mark's electronics work by using a small and very portable laptop model, which Mark can operate himself. For Mark, it promises freedom to walk completely unplugged and untethered. Over the course of a year, Mark intensely studies Professor Rabichon's programs. Amazingly, with the team's help, he learns to electronically command his legs to move.
Good.
In time, he transfers his command codes to a memory box, which attaches directly to his walker.
Je ne suis plus relié à l'ordinateur puisque toute la programmation est dans ma memory box en fait.
This now portable memory box will essentially function as Mark's second brain, telling his legs when and how to move. Finally, after 12 months of therapy, Mark can now demonstrate his ability to walk completely on his own without being plugged into a bulky computer. By simply placing the transmitter over the microchip in his abdomen, he begins. The red buttons enable his legs to contract, allowing him to stand, while the black buttons propel each leg forward. Incredibly, though his spinal column is still irreparably damaged, Mark is capable of walking across the room by himself. This man-machine hybrid is finally free to move anywhere he needs to go. A radical feat that was inconceivable at the time of his accident. It is truly a tremendous step forward in spinal cord research.
Pour moi, c'était un peu comme le premier pas sur la Lune finalement, mais avec tout ce que ça peut représenter.
Mark now has the power to do things he hasn't done for years. Most importantly, he can physically interact with his two kids.
C'était la première fois que je le voyais, alors c'était bien. J'étais contente, j'étais vraiment contente, quoi.
In the meantime, the professor's team continues to improve the process, opening up countless new possibilities for people with spinal cord injuries. And future versions promise electronics as small as cell phones that will give even more control to the user. One day, possibly eliminating paralysis forever and paving the way to a brand new bionic future.
Scientists predict that about 15 patients will be outfitted with an updated version of Mark's computerized walking system within the next year.
Ripley's legally insane. We travel the globe in search of the most unbelievable laws on the books. Idaho. Riding a merry-go-round on a Sunday could get you sent to the slammer in this state. Guilty. That's because a century-old law prohibits frivolous behavior on Sunday, and it specifically forbids riding a carousel. Although it's rarely enforced, the decree is officially still in effect. Insane or not, it's the law. When John Thompson got his shirt caught in a grinder, it ripped out both his arms at the sockets.
I had my ulnar nerve hanging on my right shoulder where my arm was, and I just started freaking out.
Hear this brave survivor recount his horrifying ordeal and watch his doctors attempt to reattach his limbs. Also, the daring young man who wants to live life in the fast lane, literally. So he's hitching a ride, clinging to the back of a speeding bus. And Ripley's shows you how to get bronze in the blink of an eye with the incredible new 6-second tan. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not. When Roberto Trigueros needs to catch the bus, he always straps on gloves and a helmet. Why? Because when Roberto rides, he does it like this. Hitched behind the bumper, going 60 miles an hour in a wheelchair. 28-year-old Roberto lost his legs after a childhood bout with polio. But Roberto didn't let that keep him down. Always striving to be independent, he eventually built his own custom heavy-duty wheelchair, allowing him to speed around town pretty fast. Still, navigating busy city traffic and traveling long distances can get exhausting. And since local buses aren't equipped for handicap access, Roberto decided to hitch a ride behind the bumper. But don't get any ideas. Holding onto a moving vehicle should never be attempted. In fact, it's illegal just about everywhere. But since Roberto sometimes travels many miles, authorities granted him special permission to employ his risky riding technique. Now Roberto, who's never been hurt on the road, knows all the different bus routes, and he's free to travel anywhere in the city, just as fast as the bus can take him.
These are gnomes. They're usually found in traditional English gardens, but lately, these mythical creatures have been popping up more and more in TV commercials and movies. And Ripley's found a live one that pops out of bed every day.
Out for his daily walk, Ron Broomfield looks like an average guy. But Ron has an obsession that's anything but ordinary. Believe it or not, this 67-year-old man has the world's largest collection of gnomes. He's even decided to become one himself.
Gnomes are always happy. They're always gay, and you always see a smiley face on a gnome's face. When you look, we're in the gardens. Look, I'm a gnome and I'm smiling.
A lifelong resident of Alford, England, Ron has always had an active imagination. But in 1957, after purchasing a couple of plaster gnomes as garden decoration, Ron fell in love with the mythical creatures, which in folklore are magical munchkin-like forest dwellers common in yards all over England. And since then, this retired window washer has never looked back.
Now I've got gnomes everywhere. They're in the garden, they're in the house, they're in the kitchen, they're in the dining room, they're in the lounge, they're in the bedroom, they're even in the toilet. And there's one sitting on the potty.
But Ron's preoccupation with the little men isn't only decorative, because when he's at home, Ron lives a not-so-secret life as a gnome. Dressing the part, he makes all his own costumes. In fact, he's well known in the neighborhood as Ron the Gnome.
When I first saw him, I thought he's a bit of an oddity. But now I know he's all of that. Yes, I like him.
And while Ron's aware his alternative lifestyle has the neighbors talking, he's not about to change.
They've all got miserable faces. Once they see me, they're all laughing. So what better way to go on? To brighten up the life of everyone in Alford. And everyone likes it. It was a dull place, they said, until Ron the Gnome appeared. They don't know where he came from, but he appeared.
To date, Ron has about 1,000 gnomes in his collection. Estimating its worth at over $30,000, he carefully tracks his growing brood by recording every one in a book. From gnome candles to gnome coffee mugs, even sheets depicting the world's most famous gnomes, the 7 dwarfs, on a custom-made bed. For Ron, there's no place like Nome.
Hello, everyone. I'm home. Have you been good? What else can you love but gnomes? And in the end, you become one yourself.
If you want to take advantage of the current gnome craze, start digging through your garage. A mint-condition lawn gnome can start at about $200 on eBay.
Ripley's travels to India in tonight's Ripley's World Tour. Entering this tiny Indian fishing village breeds fear in the hearts of many, because here, a group of men practice their religion in a very macabre way. As creepy as it sounds, these worshippers of the occult are trying to steal the souls of the dead by drinking straight from their skulls. Members of this strange religious sect capture skulls from local burial grounds. Believing the heads contain the dead person's spirit, These grave robbers then use them to consume ceremonial food and drink, all the while convinced their grim task will transform them into holy men or sadhus.
Sadhu means what? Simple life and high thinking. Natural life.
The men even dwell surrounded by human remains. Such unusual rituals cause fear among neighboring villagers, who in turn are too scared to venture into these territories alone. And while their skull-drinking customs may seem strange, it's the sect's unwavering practice of celibacy that may lead to their eventual demise. Fearing that females will drain their powers, the men never marry. Ironically, it's this belief that, over time, could wither down the very population of this widely feared tribe. It's a worker's worst nightmare, getting tangled in heavy machinery.
As it wrapped my shirt up, I went with it.
With his arms torn right off his torso, you won't believe what this man had to do to survive. Plus, little did Michelle Jassett realize that a chemical spill would change her life in the most bizarre way. Now she cries acid-like tears that burn her face. Even simple rain makes her skin sizzle. Michelle's mystifying story, straight ahead.
John Thompson made headlines across the country when a farm machine tore his arms off his body. And he would have died right there in the field if not for his heroic dog. Well, tonight, Ripley's is proud to present the next unbelievable chapter in this unbelievable story. Now, some of the accident photos are very graphic.
To look at John Thompson today, you'd never know that a few short years ago, a freak farm accident literally ripped his arms off and left John fighting for his very life. Early on a cold North Dakota winter morning, John, accompanied by his dog, was grinding feed for the livestock when the truly unthinkable happened. Somehow, John lost his footing and fell forward. In an instant, he was pulled into the grinder's spinning shaft.
Somehow we got my shirt caught in the PTO shaft, which didn't have a shield on it. And as it wrapped my shirt up, I went with it.
Within a split second, John's arms were literally ripped off at the shoulder, knocking him unconscious. Sensing something was wrong, his dog Tuffy began licking John's face.
The dog did bring John to consciousness and gave him the stamina or whatever to realize that, hey, there's something wrong here and I gotta get something together here.
Unbelievably, somehow John, bleeding profusely, got to his feet and struggled over 100 yards to the house.
I remember walking to the house and I had my ulnar nerve hanging on my right shoulder where my arm was. And I came here and walked to the house and was swinging back and forth.
But now armless and in shock, John couldn't get in.
I remember when I went to the sliding door first, I couldn't slide with my boots, and then I finally came through the garage. And I got in the house by biting the doorknob and turning with my head and got in the house.
Fighting shock, John gripped a pen with his teeth and called for help.
I dialed for help and I went to stand in the bathtub because I was still bleeding. I didn't want to get the carpets all full of blood. And I was trying to figure out how to take a shower before anybody got there. I know, just thinking about a bunch of dumb things that you never would guess you'd think about.
Paramedics arrived to find a dire situation. After a quick search located the missing limbs, one of which was thrown almost 40 feet from the accident site, John was airlifted to a Minneapolis hospital. Despite his trauma, specialists were shocked to find John up and talking.
When I first saw John Thompson, he was alert and oriented and asked me what I was going to do and how I was going to do it.
But having lost almost half of his total blood supply, John's condition is critical. Immediately going to work, doctors revitalized John's circulation, simultaneously cleaning the separated limbs.
We treat the victim, in this instance John, as if he was a patient, and then we treat each of the arms as if they were individual patients, so we have 3 teams.
But the complicated microsurgical reattachment of both arms threatens to kill John. Previous surgeries have resulted in rampant infection, like this gangrene diseased hand. And fatal blood loss is also a real possibility. Head surgeon Dr. Alan Van Beek gives John a choice: risk the surgery or live with prosthetic arms.
And he said, well, if we put your arms on, there's a good chance you're going to get an infection, and there's a good chance that you yourself are going to die from it because it's very traumatic for your body to go through.
Despite the danger, John opts for the reattachment. To be successful, each step of the delicate procedure must be performed precisely. First, the arm bones are bolted back on using plates and screws. Then, the hard part: joining the tiny blood vessels of John's arms. Finally, after 5 hours, they're ready to connect the muscles, then the tendons and the nerves. With the operation complete, only time would reveal if it worked. For days, John drifted in and out of consciousness as friends and family prayed for the best.
The doctor would come in and say, it doesn't look good. And we didn't know for a long time whether or not we would actually keep John.
When John at last opened his eyes, the shock of what he'd been through finally hit him.
And then I realized what had happened, I guess, and then I just started freaking out, so they put me back under again.
John wasn't about to quit, but getting his arms to work properly was going to take a lot of hard work.
They asked me, how far are you going to go? I said, well, I'm going to go all the way. I never had the mindset of giving up or anything.
Miraculously, 24 surgeries and a great deal of rehabilitation later, John's regained the partial use of his reattached arms.
I had the elbow movement right away, and then I started getting my wrist movement, I started getting my fingers moving, and I have feeling all the way down my fingertips. And they said it's impossible to have that, but they can't explain why I'm doing this.
In fact, John even gives motivational talks about the power of positive thinking.
I know that the human strength is incredible. I've had people come up and tell me that, well, you know, you didn't do that. You know, the angels did that because no human could do that. And it really totally offends me because I think people need to give themselves more credit.
Nowadays, with one inspirational book to his credit and another on the way, John's overcome the tragedy that could have ended his life.
I've always been told you're so courageous, you're so brave, and that's not it. It's a survival mode that everybody has in them. It's built into us.
Next, the bungee jump never attempted anywhere before. Can muscle man Steve Miller hold onto the cord barehanded as his brave volunteer takes a death-defying dive?
Okay, let's get her.
Kelly Packard is on the platform for tonight's unbelievable act.
Don't go away.
Plus, we hang with Hobie the hare as this jackrabbit hits the jacuzzi in tonight's Unbelievable Animals. And want to get the deep, rich luster of a tropical tan in an instant? Ripley's reveals the secret to beautiful flesh in a flash. Next. Enter Robert Ripley's archives.
Robert Ripley, leave it or not. Leave it or not.
The year is 1964. This wartime vehicle called the Marsh Amphibian is the total all-terrain machine, requiring both car and marine licenses. The Marsh Amphibian is designed to carry over 1,000 pounds through the toughest conditions. Developed by the Department of Defense and tested in the rugged Mississippi backwater country, the 14-foot buggy goes virtually anywhere. Easily piloted, the two large buoyant screws propel the vehicle through lakes, swamps, even forbidding bogs. And it can even be driven sideways. Due to the excessive cost required to maintain this truly versatile vehicle, production of the Marsh Amphibian eventually falls to the wayside.
Leave it or not.
Now let's go back to Kelly Packard with tonight's unbelievable act.
Earlier tonight, strongman Stephen Miller tested the conditions for a bungee jump that's never been attempted. Steven is trying to hold on to his end of the bungee cord with his bare hands while his friend, who has complete faith in Steven's strength, takes the plunge off the platform. Here's what happened during the first test. As you can see, it didn't work out as Steven planned, but after making a few adjustments, a second test came off without a hitch. Wow, Steven, the wind is clocking in at 37 miles per hour. Are you confident you can do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Should we get Kelly?
Let's get her.
Walk in behind this pole, Kelly. Sit down right there. Fly back. All the way back.
Okay, time has come. You're getting all harnessed up, Kelly. How you feeling?
I'm feeling it now.
You are? You're definitely feeling it now, huh? Do you know any specific way that you have to jump? Have they told you, like, what you need to do exactly?
I just need to have my toes out, and then they give me a target to aim for, and just big swan dive out farthest I can towards it.
You okay, Kelly?
All right. Nick, you set? All right, here we go.
On one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Steven. Steven, you did it.
Still doing it.
Still doing it. Okay, you guys, bring her down. Nice job. Steven, you did it. How do you feel?
So good. Relieved.
Oh,
Pumped.
man. Adrenaline just a little bit high?
Quite a bit.
Mine is. My goodness. Well, Kelly is going to be lowered to safety, and Steve, you successfully held the cord while she jumped, and you saw it only on Ripley's.
We did it. Thank God.
We did it.
Thank God.
Next, the unexplainable phenomenon baffling the world's best doctors. Ripley's investigates the mystery behind the girl whose tears fry the very flesh on her face. Plus, the wacky rabbit that refuses to leave his personal pool in tonight's Unbelievable Animals. And why just touching this devilish device often spelled instant death. Dean has the diabolical details. Next. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
This iron staff was purchased from the estate of Dr. Gerald Gardner, a practicing warlock and the founding father of Wicca, the religion of witchcraft. The devilish figure on the end of this staff is that of Pan, the horned god of paganism. This Ripley's artifact dates back to the late 1600s, right around the time of the infamous Salem witch trials. 19 accused men and women were put to death after being convicted of witchcraft. There was a time and a place in America that possession of a staff like this was an instant death sentence. Fortunately, times have changed. And now, here's something a little lighter to think about.
Ripley's world of unbelievable animals.
Hobie the rabbit has an unusual obsession, and it has nothing to do with eating carrots. Believe it or not, Hobie loves to float in water. One hot summer afternoon, Hobie was panting so hard he was about to overheat. His owner, determined to help, put her beloved bunny in a large barrel of water to cool him off. This seemed to help, but then to her amazement, she realized Hobie was floating. And while putting a pet in water is something you should never do, Hobie likes it so much, it's almost impossible to coax him out. Believe it.
Every time tears stream down Michelle Jessett's face, she says it feels like acid is burning her skin. Her story is so compelling that we decided to let you, the viewer, see for yourself if, in fact, this girl cries tears of acid.
Michelle Jessup is a teenage girl who never cries, but it's not for lack of emotion. Believe it or not, Michelle's own tears cause her skin to burn. And they leave blotches and bruises all over her face. January 24, 2002. Michelle's day began just like any other, with a short bus ride to her school in Gleneath, Wales. But a bizarre accident was about to drastically change her life. A truck carrying 1,500 gallons of corrosive chemicals crashed and exploded, releasing a toxic cloud high into the sky. Just then, the school bus carrying Michelle and her sister passed within feet of the smoldering truck.
We could see police and the bus had been stopped, and we all rushed to the windows to see what was happening.
Several children were rushed to the hospital, but Michelle's parents didn't realize how serious the situation was until the hospital called and advised them to literally destroy the clothes Michelle was wearing that day.
The first thing that went through my head is, God, what has she been in contact with?
They were horrified to learn that the truck's contents, ferric chloride, becomes extremely corrosive when released into the air.
You get redness of the skin, it can actually start to blister. You get redness of the eyes, you also get irritation to the airway.
Several children who were mildly burned quickly healed, including Michelle. Then came the day this teenager stepped outside into the rain, and Michelle realized that the nightmare was only just beginning, because now even rainwater seemed to aggravate her super sensitive skin.
Every time she goes in the rain, she gets burnt.
And Michelle has had to learn to control her emotions, or pay a heavy price for just a single tear.
When I cry, I have to hold tissues under my eyes, because if it goes on my skin, it just irritates where the burns had been previously.
Unexplainably, only the acidity of tears and rainwater seemed to cause the extreme allergic reaction on Michelle's cheeks. Other water, like that in the shower, doesn't irritate her skin at all. Over the last several months, Michelle's been in and out of hospitals over 30 times. And she's the only child still suffering the effects. Her doctors admit they're baffled.
I do not know of anybody who's had prolonged problems from acid contacts in that way.
These days, as doctors continue searching for a cure, this 15-year-old girl has learned to cope the best she can, using makeup to cover any blotches and redness.
If I get the urge to cry, I have to sit there, screw my face up, and try not to cry. I'm like, oh, please, and I calm down, Michelle.
Once a competitive kickboxer and cross-country runner, now just leaving home is a challenge for Michelle, especially living in a place where it rains almost every day.
Her life has dramatically changed because she doesn't move far from the house at all, where before she was never at home.
Despite her mysterious predicament, Michelle's back at school and determined to get on with her life and not cry about her problems.
And I really want to go out and like everybody else, but I can't. But hopefully I will be able to again. With my makeup project.
We'll be right back.
Next, we check out the new high-tech way to instantly bronze your entire body.
You go in for 6 seconds, and you come out, and I got such great color.
Ripley's puts the incredible 6-second tan to the test. Next. Stories you can't imagine. People you won't believe. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
While most people have to spend hours in the sun to get that perfect tan, believe it or not, these women are about to get a beautiful bronze new look in only 6 seconds flat. When salon operators Ralph and Rhonda Venuto came up with the concept of the 6-second tan, their goal was to design a self-contained indoor booth that wouldn't require ultraviolet rays. The inspiration for the solution came from an unlikely source: a car wash.
The car wash obviously has the sprays and the jets, and it covers the car completely. So we kind of went with that same concept.
With just a push of a button, a series of nozzles begin spraying a potent mist of bronzers, moisturizers, and self-tanners. Just seconds later, 6 to be exact, our formerly pale models are transformed, each now sporting a flawless golden hue that will last about a week. And best of all, this stand-up tanning booth can deliver a 360-degree tan 365 days a year. Believe it.
Here in the bowels of the warehouse, we store the most unique and strange artifacts. Take a look at this original 1930s medical device. This is the Natural Eye Normalizer, a contraption used to correct vision. The metal device was fitted with these rubber gaskets that were placed directly on the eyelids. With a twist of the wrist, the normalizer makes a sort of washing machine-like motion that was supposed to relax strained eye muscles. This device claimed to be able to correct any vision problem, thus eliminating the need for cumbersome glasses. Today, most optometrists would agree that this device does not correct any vision problems. But, on the other hand, similar eye exercises are recommended even today for conditions like a lazy eye and crossed eyes. Unbelievable? Believe it.
Those with the guts.
All right, let's do this.
Win the glory. Fear Factor. Back-to-back episodes. Starting next. Only on Chiller. Scary Good.